I'm gonna get a fucking 120.
Welcome. As soon as that fucking bitch sees you live, she'll shut your ass down.
Hey, everybody. As you can see, I've already put the title NC-17. We don't know where this will go. This is adult only content. This is not for the teenagers. This is not for the little children. This is not for the faint of heart. This is not for the ones that want to sit there and preach to the choir because they're doing the same damn thing we're going to talk about. We're talking about women. From a man's standpoint. And I'll tell you right now, I know what a woman wants. It is not what you think you're going to get. You think a woman wants what they want in a porno? Oh, hell no. You know what a woman wants? A woman wants you to take her home. Put her down on the bed, turn around, and walk the hell away. That's it. If you could go home with a woman you've never been with before, never met before, you could take her home, put her to bed, and turn around and walk away and leave. Dude, go back the next day. Make sure you got her phone number. What a woman wants is someone who can sit there in the kitchen and bake with you. Women love to bake. And I ain't talking about babies. I'm talking about cherry pie. I'm talking about peach cobbler. They love cooking that shit. Oh, they got a guy helping them freaking do it and clean the dishes when they're done. And let's face it, that makes a fucking mess.
Speaking truth, brother.
You think you're gonna get a woman by going, yep, I just met you at the bar and I bought the tea Budweiser. I think that's good for 10 minutes. The only thing that's going to be good for is you getting punched in the balls and everybody laughing at your ass. And frankly, you say that to a woman at the bar, I'm going to be the one punching your fucking shit in the balls. You know, there's a big thing. I mean, women love the fact that men are becoming more feminine. And we are. We really are. We're becoming more feminine. We're called millennials. You know, they're called millennials. All right. And there's a blur between man and female in that generation. I mean, they're killing the bras, they're killing the bed sheets, they're killing all kinds of crap. They're saying we don't need that shit no more. Why do we need a bra? Why are, I don't know why they're saying this, but they are. Show me one millennial that can cook a tuna fucking casserole. Show me one. And I'm Generation X, and I'm a member of the worst generation there possibly is for the treatment of women.
No, you're not.
I absolutely am. I'm a member of the worst generation for the treatment of women. We have my generation is the ones that have gone out and turned women into property. We've gone in and turned women into something that is to be used. No, that's not fucking true. Women are to be put on pedestals. They are to be adored. They are to be your friends. You're on the football team. You walk up to the captain. You don't fucking, you slap him on the ass. You don't think you're taking a moment to sleep him. No. You're slapping him on the ass to freaking say, hey, great play. The cheerleader. You don't walk up to her and slap her on the fucking ass. Not in my book.
That's sexual harassment.
What you do for the cheerleader is you ask her for coffee and you go and you talk to her. And man, I've got this freaking truth to tell you, and you're gonna be stunned at this truth. You can have a relationship with a woman for 20 years, never sleep with her, and it will never change.
So let me just point that
You
out.
sleep with that woman one time, it will change. That relationship now changes.
Yeah, let me elaborate on that. So I live with a roommate, a female roommate I've known since 1986. We've never done anything.
Give me a minute,
Nothing.
please.
I have a friend that I went and did Christmas Eve with and Thanksgiving with. I've known her since 1986. We've never done
I don't want this damn thing
anything
in my
together.
mouth.
Yeah,
Y'all are good friends.
they're my best friends. They're not, you know, And here's the thing: is I have so many people to trip on that. Like, how can that be? You're lying. No, that's your world. My world, I can have a female friend for I don't know what is. I can't even do the math on that.
86 till
And
now.
not do anything with them.
Let's just say
I've
30
had
years.
I have so many female friends. One I worked with for 16 years. Nothing. And it's not like it's a. What I love about it is not like something ever comes up to where it's a subject. No, we're friends. That's it. I look at them no different than my best friend I've had since 1980. That's a guy. I don't look at it any differently. I don't look at it any differently.
Champagne to yourself, or you're gonna give me a swig?
Jason.
You know, there's lines that can be crossed and lines that can't be crossed, and I've got somebody right here that's getting ready to cross one. I'll be right back.
Honey, and man, Happy New Year.
I'm real close to punching somebody in the head.
No, you're not.
And here's the thing, Punchy Boy, is there's a lot of people out there that use their friendship thinking they're gonna for ulterior motives. You'll figure those people out. You'll figure them out.
Oh yeah, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
Go.
I wish you'd get off the damn thing to begin with. And I hope they heard that.
Hold on.
So I've had
This is being Cowboys New Year's bash.
so I've had like extremely close female friends that were single, and I was single, and met somebody and started dating them. And then once we got serious, they didn't want me to hang out with that female anymore because they, in their mind, thought that female was intentions were more than just a friend. And my opinion was, whoa, back the horse up. If I was single and she was single,
Not bad. Not
then
bad
we would
at all.
be together.
Hell, kind of news.
But instead, I went and dated you. So at what point does that female friend that when we're both
Of course.
single, we don't hook up, become a threat,
Mary Hill.
right?
Oh, sweet
That's
taste.
what my point is. Like if I have a female and I start dating her and she's got a best friend that's a guy and he's single and she's single and they never hooked up, then obviously there's a reason for that. Right? And even if his intentions were still to hook up with her, I ain't worried about it because it would already have happened. I don't know yet, honey. We'll I'm trying to diffuse that right now, but
Well,
we'll see.
you know, I mean, the whole thing of it is if a guy goes into it thinking he's going to get laid the first night, he's already lost. It's already done.
Well, here's
Okay.
the other thing
I
I've
was-
experienced.
I was talking with Debbie for 2 years before our first X-rated encounter, and then it was 7 years after that before she finally said I do. Hey,
Well, here's
guys,
the other
get
thing,
over
too.
it. It takes
Here's the other
time.
thing too that I found is like when I started dating someone and there was a guy in their life that was like their best friend. Yeah, probably trying to get some. The ones that were true friends, they stuck around. The ones that were playing as a friend to try to get some, they fucking disappeared. So, and it will be the same way with, the women too. Like the ones that were playing the game disappeared. The ones that are true friends, they were right there through the relationship. So, of the other girl. So, you the thing is, you know that shit. You know damn well. And you know damn well that if you got a female friend as a guy or a male friend as a woman and you start dating somebody and you know that person, that friend is trying to do more than just be your friend,
No.
sometimes it's up to you to cut them out and say, no, enough with your comments, enough with your innuendos, your jokes. They're not going to work right now. I'm dating somebody, so keep it respectful or don't say nothing. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to respect the person you're talking to. You have to.
Hey, honey Ann says that she just experienced the shift.
Respect that.
If she just experienced a shift, and there was one.
Yeah, what was your shift, honey?
No.
Did you want me to survive?
Get the headphones off of it.
Come on. It's New Year's Eve. It's
don't
New Year.
care.
It's New Year's, Debbie. Come on.
No.
It's New Year's. Come on. Everybody wants to hear you. Everybody wants to get irritated at the fact that you want to be a jackass. It's our night to be a jackass. Every one of us is being jackasses. Except for Honey M. Honey M's got a good one.
Hee haw, hee haw. There.
Yeah, but giddy up.
It's giddy up. I'm trying to get that just to put the headphones on. I know you can hear her through the microphone, no matter where she sits. But I'm trying to get her to get the headphones on so she can hear what's going on. And I apologize to everybody right now due to the fact that I cannot see the chat room. I'm in a position right now where I can't see the chat. I don't know who's there, but it's a happy new year to everyone.
I'll tell you a story. So the last girlfriend I had, right? She was totally cool. I had a next door neighbor, totally cool. My next door neighbor is the one that got me on this dating site to actually set it up to help me meet her. And then for whatever reason, she didn't like our friendship, and we lived in a condo area. And sometimes she would put her garbage bag out just in front of her door. To when she would leave, she would take the garbage out. If I was on my way out, I would just grab her garbage bag and throw it in the dumpster. That's what I do, right? She got pissed at me. What? She's like, "You're not allowed to ever take her garbage to the garbage can, ever." She's like, "What if like some hot dude lived next to me and he wanted to wash my car? How would you feel about that?" And I looked at her, I said, I'd be like, "Dude, right on, high five." One, I didn't have to do it. Two, hey, you want to wash my car? Like, why would I be worried about that? Why would I be concerned about that? Like, I was like, she's the one that set my dating site up. We've never done anything together. She's a friend. She's my next door neighbor. We were like Seinfelds. We just walked in each other's house at will, ate, whatever. We're like a friend. I never don't look at it like a female friend that like I'm gonna get on. I looked at it. She's my friend. I just, to me, I don't get like why everybody thinks that if they're the opposite sex, that sex is involved. To me, that blows my mind. And to me, that tells me people cannot have friends that think that way. Can't have friends of opposite sex unless there's a sexual connection. That's my opinion. Like,
Yeah,
you don't
I've been in a
understand.
situation. I've been in a situation where I've had 7 women in the house at the same time. Every one of them, decent looking. A couple of them were kind of, but the rest of them were good looking. I never once had a sexual thought about any of them. Now, I'm kind of thinking I should have went full blown. Hey, how about we go out to the barn? But
Or have a harem like cowboy.
or have a harem like you, according to Debbie. Debbie, get your freaking headphones on.
No.
Debbie, put your headphones on. If you're
No.
gonna interrupt the show and blow up the microphone, get your headphones on.
No.
That's the thing about guys. We can go into a bar and we can talk to 50 women. We're going to pick the one girl out that we know for a fact's going to go home and have sex with us. We know for a fact she's going to blow us. But we could also pick up that one gal. All she needs is someone to talk to. And as a guy, you got to know these things. And we know it instinctively. And I myself, I always go for the girl that just needs someone to talk to. I don't go for the girl that wants to get laid. Don't ask me why. I don't go for the one that wants to get laid. I always go for the one that wants to get talked to. I could take her home, but that wouldn't work. And most guys, I mean, we're running around. We're running around chicken with our heads chopped off. We're going, oh, there's pussy, there's pussy, there's pussy, there's pussy, there's pussy, there's pussy, there's pussy everywhere. I don't know what to do. I'm in a bar and there's 800 women. There's only 14 guys. What am I going to do?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't go to places. Look, I don't.
After
I
seven
don't
beers,
look.
after 7 beers, you just go home and wank off, you jackass.
Seriously, man, I've actually have never gone and picked up on a woman before. Be honest with you.
Me either. I've never took a woman home. I've gone up.
Never.
I've gone up to girls. I've talked to them. I'll sit there and I'll have 4 and 5 hour conversations with them. But I've never took them home.
Seriously, you guys. I mean, honestly, you guys. I know that like my personality and the way I talk sometimes come off differently, but I'll be honest with you. Man, I'm like, I'll shut that shit down quick. Like, you know, if no, no, I need an emotional connection. I don't, I can't.
Well,
Okay,
yeah, you have
this
to.
is NC-17. Look, I cannot have sex with somebody I do not have an emotional connection with. And when I say that, it doesn't mean that I don't have an emotional connection with my female friends. That's a different emotional connection as a friend than in an attraction. And I have to have that connection. To me, otherwise, it's pointless and a waste of time. And I've been weird and abnormal, in my opinion, compared to most men in that aspect my whole life. I don't sleep around. I don't bring home strange women. I don't have random sex at all. Every woman I've had sex with, other than two, I'm 49. There's 2 women my whole life I've had sex with, I do not have a relationship with. And both of those, yeah, it wasn't worth it. Not even worth it. It was like, what? That was stupid. And I was very young before I was married. Back in my early 20s.
I have had 2 relationships, sexual relationships my entire life. Okay. One, being honest, guys, a stripper. Somebody paid to lose my virginity for me. Okay. Didn't like it. I felt like dirt the next day. In fact, I felt like dirt for the next month. And then I met Debbie about 4 years later. And it was, I guess, 3 years after I met Debbie when we got together. Yeah, there's my sexual experience right there. 2 women. I still got 3 fingers on one hand for the number of women I've slept with. I might be a redneck from hell, but you've got to know the woman. You've got to respect her. She's got to have the respect for you. And by God, if the love's not there, then it's just not going to work. And I'm going to tell you right now, a hooker's not going to get it. Okay. I've had one. Okay. No. No good. I had to get checked for STDs later on in life. I had to get checked for this, checked for that. Oh, lost your virginity to a hooker? Yeah. Don't most guys? No. As I found out. Not in my area. Shit. Like I checked for STDs. I'm clean. Thank God.
Yeah, here's the other thing too that probably a lot of people get confused with me. I'm extremely old fashioned. I am very old fashioned uh, in every way that term means. And the other thing too is, um, man, if I start dating a woman, right? If I meet a girl and I start dating her, it better take me a month and at least 4 to 5 dates before she's um giving it up. And don't get confused by the fact that it's okay in my world that she allows me to know that she's interested to do that. But it better be a challenge. Because here's the thing that a lot of women don't realize. And there's a reason for this, because a lot of women use their sexuality to get the guy. But know this:
Oh, yeah.
the longer that you make a guy wait, the longer your relationship's going to last with him. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because in the guy's mind, he's going to go, man, it took me a month, 2 months, 3 months to finally get that. If it took me that long, then, and we're in a relationship, then the trust level builds to the point where, like, you know, the trust of her, say, if you just met her and she gave it up to you on the first date, there's no trust level there. Like, you get that shit at the first date. Like, what are you gonna do when you get fucked up and we're in a fight or something, or you, whatever, right? But if she gives you that challenge and makes you wait, the trust level is like huge, and it goes both ways. Because yeah, as a guy, yeah, you might try a little bit here and there in that time, probably more so, and which is expected. But deep down, the guy's mind is like, she better make me wait. We're playing the game. You give it up too soon, right? Same thing with her. Like, you know, he waited the 3 months for me, the 2 months, whatever, the month. It builds the trust level, because without trust, dead in the water, man.
Absolutely.
Dead in the water.
Absolutely. With me and Debbie, it was what, 7 months before we did anything other than a neck massage at the office. I wish she had the headphones on so she could hear what the conversation is. She'd be able to clarify better. She's got a better memory than me. But it was like 7 months. Everybody knew before we did. That's what's funny.
Yeah.
Everybody knew before we did that was going to happen, including her ex-husband, which I work for now. But you gotta have that level of trust. You're right. You gotta have that level of trust. You've got to have that level of care. You've got to have that level of understanding. And then you get to that point where it's like, I'm going to go crazy. I'm just going to go for it. Once you get to that point, it's like, oh, the first time me and Debbie made love, I'm going to tell everybody the story. The first time me and Debbie made love, we were out in the park walking the trails. We were actually looking for scorpions. We weren't finding any scorpions. And we got to this one point in the park, and Debbie just said, let's go this way.
Sorry, dude. You got the plan. Yeah.
And at that point, it was like, game over. Debbie took her top off, and at that point, it was game over.
Well, I'll tell you. So the girl that I'm talking about, that I first dated after my ex-wife, okay, I met her and we connected right away. She was about 3 houses down from me. We talked all the time. We hung out. Our kids hung out. You could tell there was a strong attraction there. She made me wait 3 months, dude, before we even kissed. And it was one, she did one thing that opened the door for that, which, I mean, this is so vivid. It was just, all she did is we were talking one day, and all she did was like run her fingers like along like the hair on my arm. That was it. It was just a subtle touch. That was it. Done. Done. Hook, line, and sinker. 3 months. And then we ended up kissing that night. We didn't have sex that night. It was probably another 2 weeks. But it had built up so much. It's so funny. This is so sick. And I know my kids aren't sub to your channel, so it's okay. We were all at my house, and her kids were down there hanging out, playing with my kids, and she was over. And it got so intense after that buildup that it was like unspoken. We're gonna go up to the house real quick and get something, and it's like we didn't get past the living room. It was like in the living room, like right by the door, and like done right there. Like as soon as we could get in the house and get our clothes off, done. But it was a buildup and a trust, and that's so much more than the meet somebody fucked up at a bar, bring them home, and wake up and go like, what does she look like again? You know, what's her name again? No, man, that's bullshit. You know?
Yeah, I've never done that. I've never even thought about that. What I have had is women that will kiss me. I've got Cassandra, I've got Casey, I've got Andrea. We've kissed.
Yeah. Hey,
And I do mean kissed.
I know you can't see the chat. No Way Out Radio is in the room. He's talking to bringing up stuff similar. I don't know if you want to put the link in.
I
so
can't. I don't have the chat.
You put it in the Google Hangout, and I'll post it for him.
Here, I'll put it in the side chat.
Yeah, we
If
haven't
I
had no
can.
way out on a stream in a while.
Yeah, it's been forever.
But he
This
was
is
saying
gonna
he's
be
saying that
what the
he's saying that
fuck?
his wife, he's been married 26 and
What
a half
the
years to
hell?
Like, made him wait 3 weeks and tease the crap out of him. That's what I'm talking about. No way. That's what I'm talking about. It's like that is so much bigger than you know. I used to always say, like, when I was growing up and I was really young, these women that dress really provocative and throw themselves out there like that. It's like, yeah, you know what? You're getting the attention you want. Yeah, every man wants to take you right now with our manly sexual drive. Yeah, sure. Here's the thing, though. We ain't going to take you home to mom. you ain't, it's like we want that woman that teases us for 3 weeks, a month, that that builds that trust that we know is not
If your wife is not your best,
watching for
if your girlfriend, if your girlfriend or wife is not your best friend, you're done right there. Period.
Well,
End of
yeah.
story. She has got to
Well,
be your best friend. Otherwise, the relationship is over before it even
well,
starts.
that and trust in the friendship. But you can't have that friendship you don't trust. You can't have a friendship with anybody you don't trust. That's why I say trust is the biggest one of all. Whether it's a girlfriend, a best friend, uh, a family member, trust, dude. You lose trust, every relationship in every aspect fails.
Yeah, exactly. If there's no trust, it's over. Forget it. It's a problem me and Debbie are actually having at the moment.
Hey, there's the hangout there. No way. If you want to join us, it's been a while.
It's not fury.
Oh, her intern Berman's fuck, Debbie. What are you talking about?
No, it's everybody, people interfering.
Another issue that I've got going on is me and Debbie are growing further apart.
All right, listen. I'm
And
going
I
to
don't
stop
know
you
how
right
to.
there.
I
I'm going to tell
don't know
you
how to
how.
make it.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to help you guys out. That's what I do. Okay. When people grow farther apart, right? The reason people grow farther apart are a couple reasons. One is they get too comfortable in the way things are and don't address things correctly or know how to. So, what you need to do, or I suggest that you do, is that you and Debbie both write down on a paper what it is that you each feel is driving you farther apart. Go into it with an open mind, and then once you do that, then write down both of you separately. Okay, because it has to be separately. Because if you say it one by one, like if you didn't write it down, then one person's comment can influence the other person's comment. This is why I say write it down separately. So it can't be changed. Your thoughts cannot be changed. Then once you do that, then you write down ways that each of you think that you can grow closer again. Because if you, again, you got to write down, because if you said, well, Debbie, I think we'll grow closer together if we do this, and she's got this and other thing in her mind, her mind might change or vice versa on the way she comments to her idea. It has to be written down to where it's the actual true feelings and thoughts of each of you, where the comments through the conversation can't be altered by one person's comment. So write down what it is that each of you think is why you're drifting apart. And once you read them, before you even discuss them, write down what it is that you both think will draw, or even do it at the same time. What it is, list out why do you feel we're growing apart, and then why do I. So you're right. I think we're going apart because of these reasons. I think we'll be closer if we do these things. And then she does the same thing and writes them down. And then you compare notes and talk about each one.
Well, W has pulled up, just hauled out and threw out that uh, I'm spending too much time talking to other people. I'm spending too much time on my live shows. I'm spending too much time talking to people on the phone. And she actually is right, because I know.
Okay, but here's the thing, though, Jason. Wait a minute. Let me back up. Jason, this is your hobby. You don't have any other hobbies. You work, you come home, and you spend time with her, right? Okay, and then for your hobby and for your hobby, your likes, is to go on YouTube and do a stream, right? It does really.
Well,
It's not like you go. It's not like you go out and play poker or go out to the on Sundays and watch NFL all day with your boys, or whatever. Everybody has their likes. The problem here, and hear me out, you found a hobby within that you haven't had before. So before YouTube came along and you started doing this, you didn't have an outside hobby of the relationship. This hobby you have, she's not interested in partaking in as much as you keep trying to get her to partake in it. She feels it as a threat in the relationship. But on the other hand, she's not finding anything outside of you guys that she enjoys. So if she enjoyed going and picking dandelions and at noon on Wednesdays with her friends, and you hated that, right? So the thing is where this whole thing happens between two couples is that when outside influences impact, when the other person doesn't have an outside influence of that, she needs a hobby to find. She got to quit relying on you on everything and say, you know what? I really like reading, so I'm going to join a book club. And I go every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock to my book club fan. And you hate reading books, so I get it. And the other thing you need to do is also find something else that you guys like to do outside your normal go to work, come home, eat dinner thing, where you guys actually do something together as well. Because you have a hobby she doesn't like. She doesn't have a hobby. All right?
Well,
And this is where has a lot to do with it. And by the way, Norway is in the room. Welcome.
I know. He's in the room, but I wasn't going to interrupt you.
So, it's my opinion.
How you doing, Norway?
Pretty good, pretty good. How are you gentlemen tonight?
Oh, we're doing all right.
Well, I'd like to wish
we're getting an echo off your system now.
No, I've got the other system. YouTube's closed down. You still getting an echo?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. Yeah, I heard a little something and it went away. But no, I'm just hanging out. But what I'd like to say, Jason, is Cowboy is right. I may have been married for 26 and a half years, and a lot of people, they don't understand. It's a roller coaster.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
there's good, there's bad. And now I've been doing podcasts for 7 years.
Oh wow.
And the thing is within the podcast network, it takes a lot of time. Like these videos you may see if I put them up on YouTube now. They bought me a new program, my wife and my boys, and yeah, it's 16 hours to do a 16-minute video with editing and finding stuff.
Yeah.
But where Cowboy's right, it's hobbies. It's what human nature is. You need something that you enjoy. She needs something that she enjoys. And I will say, sometimes it's hard. My taste in TV shows and movies is way different than hers. There's times that I don't take offense that she will never sit down and watch one of my movies. But I will tell you, I do take the time to sit down and watch the ones with her that she wants me to watch.
You have to.
Right.
Norway. I mean, dude, that is so brilliant because if here's the thing, if Debbie had something outside of the marriage that she enjoyed that you didn't like,
You
if
have
you
to put
actually
up with
took
it.
time to go and say she liked underwater weaving, I don't know, with some crazy like knitting, like or something, right? And you're like,
Exactly.
The whole thing is that
you go
the
with
whole
her to
thing is
the
with
thing,
cowboy,
right? I mean,
cowboy, cowboy.
you'll
No way, cowboy. No way. Come on,
Mhm.
easy. Hold on, both of you. Hold on. Debbie's health is to the point where she's pretty well bedridden. So the hobbies are restricted to crochet and breeding me.
Okay, so here's the thing, Jason.
Mhm.
Crochet. You know what? Tonight you're doing a live stream. Tomorrow, get your own crochet and crochet with her, dude.
Well, I
Do you
do
know what I'm saying?
beadwork. I do beadwork.
Okay, but that's not what she does. She does crochet.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but they can work together. Have you
Oh
ever
yeah.
I am half Native American and the other half is Scotch Irish. That's why my friends know, keep me from the alcohol, please.
Hey, man. Hey, no,
You
no
know,
way. No way. The
we've
last
had
no
two
way.
great gifts from the white man. We've had the
Hey,
fire stick and the fire water. Now would you please fire the government?
hey, no way.
Got the
Yes.
fire water. No way.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. The last two women I was in a long-term relationship, the two women after my marriage, both Native American, Irish. Believe me, dude. I
Yeah.
know.
I've
Well,
got to tell you, the combination for fucking nightmares to happen.
well, I mean, if you want a hot-tempered person, you don't put a native with a Scotch Irish. I mean, what are the two worst Europeans? Scottish people are known for their temper, but so are Irish. So what hit northern Maine was Scotch Irish. Well, what's worse than a native that gets pissed off when you cross them? Well, there you go. But that's what made me what I am today.
But you know what
They
else? No
thought
way.
they were
You,
fucking
you
But
also
fighting.
have what shows
you
some
know
love
what's
in
real
your
nice?
life
You know
too.
what would be real nice? If you made a design with beads, Debbie can integrate that into her crocheting. You take a scarf that has beads put into it. That's what you can do together. We
Yeah,
had to find
my next
my
project
wife and
is
I
about.
are from two
But
complete
yeah,
different
yeah,
worlds.
yeah. That
So,
would be awesome if we can incorporate our both of our skill sets together. That would be awesome. Give us a dual project.
right.
Right, and let's take it.
Because
Let's take it a
that's
step
how I
further.
brought my wife into my podcasting. I do have I 50% of my lung function's gone. I have COPD. I have emphysema.
Oh shit.
And
Mm.
so it's become very hard for me to do the content in my podcast. So what I would do, like if I was going to do my, I had a different understanding. Let's just, I don't want to take this into biblical if it bothers anybody or offensive, but that's what I do on my podcast. Is There No Way Out? Is I take the Bible and I show how it works today, how it was warning us of what is happening today. But I have a hard time reading large articles or reading a lot of scripture. So how she would work with me, which she learned to enjoy, I would have her read this stuff for me. I could tape it ahead of time and have a clip all ready for the podcast. But we found ways to incorporate our own interests together. And it is a give and take on both sides.
Yeah.
I understand, Debbie has to learn to work with you as you work with her.
And
And
as I found with what I found with scripture is if you got to read scripture to somebody or talk
yeah,
scripture to somebody, it's better in small doses because if you go to read an entire book, it's not going to work. If you go to read just a chapter, even that's not going to work. If you read a couple of verses, that's going to make the impact.
hmm
Let's take it a step further. Let's take it one step further. So now you're incorporating the beads in the crochet, right? Now the next step is what? Now you do a live stream showcasing what you guys have made together.
There you
And
go.
now you're bringing her into your world and you're
great. Yes,
intertwining it together.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Perfect. Yep.
Yeah, 'cause I want to keep doing this. I want to get back into doing my shows every night. And I've got plenty of content. In fact, the show's kind of going off base where I was going to go. And I made this NC-17 for a reason. Oh my God. Now we're going into Tame. Cowboy, why the hell do I even bother naming my shows anymore?
Well, I'll tell you this. The podcast we do on Friday night with a friend from Minnesota on another network, on Spreaker, is really something. I mean, we let go on that network because we dig into exactly what the government's doing and how they're lying, and the guests we have on and the panelists that we all congregate together. We get wired.
Oh no!
And
Before you came on, we were talking. Before you came on,
oh,
we were talking
I've been
about women
listening.
and how they behave and everything else. I
I've
mean,
been
I figured it was going to get dirty.
yeah. I've been listening. I had to my COPD. I take meds about every 4 to 5 hours. So when I'm sitting here doing a nebulizer, yeah, I'm getting an awful feedback or echo. But when I do a
Like this one.
nebulizer, I can't talk, and so I was listening to you guys. I saw Cowboy was on, but it killed as soon as I got there.
Yeah, no, I got a 90-day strike, brother.
Oh, I kind of figured that because I saw the movie you were
Here's the thing,
playing.
though. I'm not monetized, and I'm just playing YouTube shit from YouTube. 3 songs from YouTube that are on YouTube. I played 3 songs. They cut me off and gave me a 90-day strike for playing song. I'm not even monetized.
Wow.
I got a 30-day strikeout. The next time I get a copyright strike, I'm getting hit for 120.
Yeah, they
Seriously,
didn't like
dude.
it. I don't know
I
if you
have
guys
200. I have
had.
246 subs, dude. There
Yeah.
was like 5 people there.
I don't
played
even think
3
I got
songs.
150. I don't even think I got 150.
90-day strike, man.
Look at me. I got 75 subs, but I mean, I've got my podcast. YouTube knows that us from BTR and Spreaker, they know that we're global. my podcast, I haven't done it in a couple months. My lungs have really been bad, and I'm just regrouping for a bit. But my podcast is listened to around the world in 13 countries around the world.
Awesome.
Dude, put your
Yeah.
podcast in the chat room, dude, so we can
Well,
join.
I put
Yeah.
my I was recording them. I was using the OSB to record my podcast, and then I would upload the MP4 so people could see the chat room as it was scrolling and everything else. And I guess YouTube didn't like that too well because for our podcast, we pay for the time to be on the air. And what it is we're paying. So anything that we put on there that has royalties attached to it, that's what we're paying for. We're paying that monthly fee for that. And well, YouTube didn't like it because we have no holds barred. No
I'm trying to
holds.
pull I'm trying to pull up this channel right now. That way I can make
Oh,
sure you've got a wrench.
yeah, I've got one.
You got the only one that doesn't have a wrench is
I'll go to my Spreaker homepage and put the link in there. Because I am gonna after the new year, I'm gonna
Oh my
I've been
goodness,
putting
I hate YouTube.
I've been
Why
putting
are you
stuff
doing this to me?
I've been putting stuff on
Why are you doing this to me, YouTube?
oh what
Why
the
are
heck
you
did I
doing
put
this? Oh no, I can't even get on my own damn channel.
there? Yeah, you like that, don't you?
Yeah.
That's
What
what that's why I left BTR because they had gotten so bad. The money we were paying per month, our listeners couldn't get into the chat. The friggin' thing kept acting up, and here I'm the host, and they'd boot the host right off in a live show. And that's when I said, that's enough of
Pick a
that crap.
photo. It's YouTube's picking photos off my phone.
Oh, yeah.
What the Roger?
What the heck is going on here? Yeah, see, now I can't even get into
I'd like
my.
to put some of the pictures up there, but I can't.
There we go. I got it. This was the one I did 4 months. Wow, I've been gone for 4 months.
Yeah, you've been gone for a while.
Holy cow.
Yeah, you've been
Well,
gone for a while.
yeah, when my lungs take a turn for the worst, when you can't breathe, you can't talk. And for a talk
Yeah.
show host, that don't work. there's
Oh,
there's
I
something
know.
wrong with that picture.
Oh, I know.
Let me put it in. Okay, I'll put it in the YouTube chat and over here in the Hangout.
You got a wrench, right?
Yep, yeah, I just dropped it in and
I'm trying to get the chat, guys. I'm sorry.
there
Right
you
now,
go.
I'm kind of
In your
screwed. Okay, it's in the side chat.
yep.
It's in the side chat here.
That's the Spreaker homepage. Armor Up, he's subscribed to it.
I'm trying to pull my own damn show up on YouTube. It is not letting me. I'm being denied to watch my own show on YouTube.
Well, there you go.
So
This is
here's
hilarious.
something else,
No, it's
Jason.
not.
Jason, here's something else I want to talk to you about. Getting back to you and Debbie. Okay.
No, quit your damn yelling.
The boss has spoken. Well,
If she put her headphones on, she'd be a part of this show, and then everybody be a deep shit, not just me.
well, I always joke with people the way my house is set up. I'm on the second floor over in one side of the house. That's my office, my studio, and everything else. And I always tell everybody I joke around, my wife and I, we joke around, and I'll say something. I said, and if I made a mistake or I said it wrong, when you hear the frying pan hit the head, just hang on. I'll wake up at some point.
You wrote that joke after my live stream. I know you did.
Hey, Jason, I got something I want to talk to you to bring a point about what you were talking about, you and Debbie. Okay?
Oh shit!
Well,
Here we go.
follow me here. My best friend from 1980, elementary school.
Uh huh.
All right, still best friends. We live here in Sacramento now. Hang out. Well, he's getting divorced, and he kept bitching about how him and his wife were not having sexual relations, and he'd get pissed, and they get in big fights. He wasn't being romantic. He'd just be like, "Are we getting it on tonight? Are we doing it tonight? No, tomorrow night? Fine. Are we doing it now?" Just like hardcore, right? And then one day he starts bitching to me how she drove and she called him and she got a flat tire, and he had to come fix the flat tire. And when he showed up, she didn't pull off the main street to the side street, and he bitched at her. Like, what the fuck? You didn't even pull around the corner to the side street where it's safer. You're fucking sitting, just bitching. And then when they got home, he bitched at her for not getting laid for fixing the flat tire. And he's bitching at me. And I go, wait, let's back up. And I'm not going to say his name, brother. I'm going to call him brother. Back up, brother. I'm like, dude, let me ask you something. When you first started dating her, let's take this scenario with the flat tire. And you were first dating her, courting her, right? And she got a flat tire. And you showed up and she's on a main street. Would you not be like, baby, I got this? It's dangerous. Step outside. I'm going to pull the car around the corner. I'm going to take care of this flat tire for you, baby. There you go. Right? He's like, yeah. I said, well, what happened when you got home? She jumped the shit out of you, right? He's like, yeah. Okay, so you're expecting her to jump the shit out of you for fixing her flat tire, yet you didn't handle it the way you did when you were courting her. Had you handled it the way you did when you were courting her, she would have handled it in the way when you were courting her. So why are you pissed that you were an asshole about it, yet still expected her to react the same that she did in the past? Doesn't make sense, dude. So my point to you, Jason, is you're growing apart. Grasp those days that when you were courting her and what you did, and do it. It doesn't go away. Why should it go away? Because you've
It's
been
never going to
together
go
for
away. Nothing's
No,
ever
so
going to go
do it.
away.
So do it. So if you were courting her and she was bedridden, if you were courting her, if when you were going after her at the time she was unhealthy in bed and all she could do for a hobby was crochet, you'd be right there fucking crocheting, dude. You'd be right there putting your beads.
If I was able to put the picture up on screen share, I was up there at the hospital when she was dead. Literally dead last year.
Stop, Jason. You're going into the I was there for you when you. No,
yes, you were. You were.
No, I'm talking about when you first met her and the way you handled yourself with her and what you did to go out of your way.
YouTube didn't even exist.
It doesn't matter. Take YouTube out. Put something else involved. Just whatever
we
it is.
We played games together. We played games. We got drunk. We played games. We played pool. We played cards.
Yeah. When's the last time you played cards with her?
Tonight.
Yeah. Okay. So keep doing those things, man. Keep doing you know, people lose sight. They get comfortable in their relationship, and then everything looks green on the other side. And you gotta keep the fire alive, man. You know, because if you don't,
You do.
that's
You
when you
really
grow
do.
apart.
'Cause I'm
That's
gonna
when
tell
you
you
grow
what,
apart.
it's awkward on the other side.
It, it is, and and I told my best friend, I'm like, dude, if if you want her to have relations with you at night, don't go in there and ask for it. Go in there, give her a massage, give her, pamper her, treat her like, emotionally affectionate towards her. Go in there and just ask for it, and then when she says no, get mad. I'm like, dude, that's not what you did when you dated her. So you get mad at her for saying no. She's saying no. She's mad at you for the way you're asking, man. Step back and look at that.
And see, I'm at a point right now where it's very awkward because I'm with her, but I'm not with her. I love Debbie to death. I'm not going to trade her in for any person on earth. But at the same time, our relationship got to the point where she's like, you know what? I can walk away from you right now, and I don't give a shit.
All right, and let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. I'm going to tell you right now, for anybody listening, and this is for Debbie right now, hardcore. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, in Norway, 26 and a half years, honey, 30 years. I was 14. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, okay? I'm going to tell you right now. That whole walking away thing and thinking that the next relationship is going to be different. Yeah, you're going to get that butterflies again. You're going to get that first time again. But guess what's going to happen 14 years down the road, 26 years down and a half years down the road, 30 years down the road? You're going to be in the same spot, man. So don't think that, like, when you're in a long-term relationship, that for some reason when you date somebody else, it's going to be different. It doesn't come down to that. It comes down to how you're going to handle the relationship you're in. I always say relationships are exactly like Noe said, a roller coaster, man. They're up and down, dude. There's highs and lows. Your relationships last based on how you deal with the lows, not how you deal with the highs. Because you're going to get a high with anybody.
There's always a high. There's always a highs.
To make it.
The lows
It's
are
work.
the
I
lows
think
are what hurts.
the hardest thing for us men to stop doing is using our scorecard. Well, that's a check mark for me and a check mark for you, or a check mark against you and another one for me. It's not that there's no score. There's no way to win by scores or check marks. I think us men, I know for me, to make it through, I had to realize that what I thought was acceptable behavior was not acceptable behavior. But I had to learn that even with some of my good friends, finally, that I've known since I was 6, 7 years old. And well, no, Dave, you can't take off with me on a Friday night and show back up on a Sunday and not expect to be in trouble for doing so. Well, I didn't do anything. I didn't, I wasn't out cheating. Well, but still, I had
But you left that
chose
door open for that thought, though. That's the
right,
problem, man.
exactly. So I had to overcome
Yeah,
that
yeah,
because we are men, and I know
yeah. We
society
are.
today
We are.
we're not supposed to be. We're supposed to be women today, but we can't be. We're men. That's how God made us.
Let me ask you this, Jason. Let me ask you this, Jason. When's the last time you kissed Debbie at midnight on New Year's Eve?
Tonight,
Tonight? Really? Awesome.
I kiss her at
When's the last
midnight every
time?
year.
Huh?
I kiss her at midnight every years. I kiss her every night.
Is she awake?
Yeah, she's awake right now.
I want you to go over to her right now and hug her and tell her you love her.
I
How can I sleep? You're keeping
I
me
want
awake.
you to get off the fucking headset, Jason. I want you to get off the fucking
Here.
headset.
How about
Down,
this?
walk over,
How about this?
hug her,
How about this?
kiss her, and tell her you love her.
I'll do that, and I'm gonna tell her you said to get on the headset.
No, I'm not doing it.
I don't get it.
That's all right.
No
Stage
way out
fright.
radio's on the freaking on the damn air with us tonight, and this is like extremely hard for him to do. And actually, I feel privileged. I really do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It is hard. Stage fright for people. I mean, like my wife, I have to, if she's going to read something for me, I can never get her to do it live. She has to do it, and I have to record it and put the clip into my studio because she refuses to do it live. That stage fright
I
is,
always heard that too.
that's just how it is. Some people refuse to do it.
And
No,
it's not like it's gonna hurt them.
No. But
And
it's like, I
here's
guess
the
if you look at it is like, um our house here, our the chimney that I use, that we have for the wood stove and stuff, and I never thought, it's 30 feet up there to the peak, and I have what they call a 10-12 pitch. It's a very steep,
yeah,
very steep
it's
roof.
steep.
And so I go right up the side of the ladder, and I grab the chimney, and I throw my leg up there, and I get up on top of the roof. And my youngest son, he's there, and bring the rest of the handles and stuff up for the brush so I can shove it down the chimney. And to me, I didn't think at first. Come on. And then I looked and I saw he's scared of heights. So
may as well put them up.
we're different. If we
Like
don't
somebody
think about
like
the other person's differences and learn to accept them and work with them on both sides. Like my wife has, this is how I am, and this part of my personality you can't change. I'll never change it. Either, live with it or I don't know. But that's why I say longevity is give and take on both sides. And it's so hard to do.
It
It
is.
really is.
It is very hard to do. I'm an
But
extrovert, and Debbie's an introvert.
no, I'm not.
Debbie's all wrapped up inside herself, and on myself, I want to spread myself across the entire planet.
I'm not wrapped up in myself. I've always been an extrovert and probably always will be. I can talk to anybody. But there are times when I would like to spend time with my husband alone.
Put the headphones on so you hear your rebuttal, because it's coming.
And I understand that, but at the same time, we can't shelter our spouses either.
No,
I
no,
understand
we
that,
can't. We can't.
with my wife, she understands. It's the kind of person that I am. It's the free spirit I am. I have something to say. I I've always she. It took her a while to understand. I care about people. I care about the world. I care at times too much about the person that is harming somebody else. And I just want to stop that person from harming somebody that doesn't deserve to be harmed. And for my wife to put up with me doing this for people, I have to sacrifice myself to give her the time, but she has to understand for me to give her time, she needs to give me time, because these podcasts for 7 years, it takes a long time. When you're sitting down and you're researching all the facts, because I will never, if it has to do with the Bible and it has to do with stuff that's going on in the world, you got to dig all your facts up first. That could be 10 to 15 hours worth of research
Oh,
for
easily.
for a 2 hour podcast. And but it's there's no answers. It all comes down to you two need to communicate. Like I had to learn, even like Cowboy hit said it perfectly with when I was trying to lure her in, when I was courting her, when I was grasping onto her. What you're doing there, it it will go away. It in time. But now both sides need to realize that you're taking the other one for granted and find a way to stop doing it. Even if, like,
Uh,
if
that's where you're wrong.
taking each other,
I
well,
never,
you can,
I never take Debbie for granted. Never.
oh, that's good. That's good.
I've
There,
lost her 7 times in 2 years. I do not take her for granted.
oh, yeah. Okay. Well,
Okay, wait.
that
I'm gonna
probably
stop
wasn't
you right
right.
there, Jason.
The
I'm gonna
right
stop
word.
you right there.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna stop you right there, and I'm gonna say bullshit. I'm gonna tell you why. You lost her 7 times. Why? Because you took her for granted.
No,
Okay. Look,
no, no.
I've been in
I didn't lose her
relationships.
7 times because I took her for granted. I lost her 7 times because she was in a hospital on fucking life support. That's how I lost her. Almost lost her 7 times. She was in the ICU 7 times over a 2-year period.
Oh wow. Right.
Right. Yeah, I understood
That's
that.
misunderstood what
Now,
the comment.
what I meant by taking, you don't realize it. Well, I'm not gonna do this because, well, she's always gonna, or she's not gonna do something anymore that she always sweep the floor, vacuum a rug. Well, he's gonna do it.
Mhm.
That's the
Right.
kind of taking for granted of each other that we all tend to do. It's human nature. But when you realize the the true love you have for somebody is when that happens. 3 years ago,
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought I was out of shape. That's all I thought it was. I thought I was getting out of shape because the place I worked for 20 years went bankrupt in the great bust of 2008 and shut down. I wasn't doing what I used to do. Well, I'm just getting out of shape. So I went and volunteered my extra time to climb the mountain in my backyard to man the fire tower, to volunteer for free to man the fire tower on top of a mountain.
This guy.
So I climbed the mountain to man the fire tower. In 3 months, I wasn't out of shape. I was in the hospital and they were telling me, you're done, but
No.
your lungs, you're done.
Yeah. Don't put the
Uh,
headphones on. That
No.
way you can hear. They can hear you. You need to hear them.
I don't care.
Me, you don't care. You need to hear them.
No, I don't.
I've got no way out on the radio, and this is extremely rare. And I do mean extremely rare.
I don't want to. Put it that way. No.
I keep trying, but she keeps saying no.
right, and that's on we go. And that's
And I'm sorry
okay.
I'm stubborn, and when I say no, I mean no.
Boy, she wouldn't like to go around with me. An Indian is just as stubborn.
No
I
way
don't
outside
I
an
don't
Indian
care
is
that I'm
just as
outnumbered
stubborn.
10,000 to 1. I can still win. I know I can. And that's stubbornness.
Come on, Deb. Put the headphones on. The gauntlet's been
No.
thrown. Now you got to pick it up.
No, I do not.
No, it's cool.
Who's more
But you know,
stubborn?
if the
I'm
world
married,
if the world was perfect,
I'm
there'd be
married
no
another
evil.
Taurus. Who is more stubborn?
Who is more stubborn? The one that gets the last word.
It's my radio show. That's going to be me.
Right. That's what I always used to tell people. I says, you can't get nasty to me. Oh, yes, I can. I says, oh, no, you can't. I'm the host, and I have the controls.
Jason, tell her to put the headset on to listen.
I would
That
put
she
the
doesn't have
headphones
to
on
talk.
is to block out everything.
Debbie,
Tell her just to
No.
listen.
put the headphones on to listen to our radio show and actually understand what we're talking about. To
She
drown
doesn't have
out
to
whatever
talk.
the bullshit is Bill's got on that TV out there because I don't know what the hell he's got playing.
I don't care.
At least you know what they're saying to me.
I don't care.
Well,
Every
it
time I go live, Debbie goes, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. What's really funny is when me and Cowboy first started doing shows together, Debbie was in the hospital and she was involved in every single show in some way, shape, form, or another. She was involved in every one of them.
Jason, I did all that back when I was a teenager, 18, 19, 20, years old.
And
Been there, done that. Tired of it.
these radio shows that we do on YouTube, we can actually branch these out and do other things like voiceovers for books or commercials. Become voice actors. And no way out, you've got a great voice. You'd be awesome for doing commercials.
I've heard that a lot in 7 years.
You know, I want Debbie to know this, Jason. I want you to tell her this. Okay? I've never met you. I've never met her.
No.
Right? But you know what? You guys are more closer to me in my life than the people I sit next to all day at work. And yeah, you know what? That's our society today. We meet people in a social platform, and it's brought people together in distant areas. Where are you from? No way. I know you're like.
I'm in southern Maine.
Debbie, you need to put the headphones on right now. You need to put the headphones on right now. Cowboy's got a message for you right the fuck now, and you got to put them on.
Jason, you're like a brother to me, dude. Like, I'd do anything. You've done shit for me that nobody's done. Dude, you gave me $20 when you had 40 in your account. Dude, seriously? Fuck the whole it's a social media platform and you don't know them shit. Bullshit. Jason and I know each other more than I know the people I work with 8 hours a day. And
I'll tell you,
I'm not going to buy that shit of who the fuck are these people you talk to on this shit because no.
This
because
stuff is
it's
how
no different than if Jason was my neighbor right now than he is in Missouri and I'm in California. Fucking bullshit.
I have people right now after 7 years. I have people in Australia that I communicate with, in the UK that I communicate with, in Sweden I communicate with, Canada, all through America. The guy that I have been with for 7 years, we started off on BTR, we're now on Spreaker,
start throwing.
I have done shows and stuff with him for 7 years. He jumped on a motorcycle and drove all the way from Minneapolis, Minnesota to southern Maine the first week of October to spend 3 days with a guy he had never met in person.
Right?
And
That's a hell of a ride.
right.
And let me tell
But
you something.
this is the family that we have created, guys.
Yes.
We know
Yeah.
what goes on and we care about each other. We, you know, if somebody, I don't care, there's people I know right now in California and Texas, and he goes by reactionaries, we call him RZ. He's in Minnesota. Anything that anybody needs, we are a large enough family now that we can get it together. We got the donations together from a guy that started it in um, Burlington, Vermont. There was a girl in New Mexico, a lady, she's like 70 years old, and her health is going and stuff. And she was trying to do all this stuff with the shows and promote them and be on them on a phone. We got together and we got her a nice laptop and we set it up out there and we ship it right out there. But without, like what Cowboy just said, the friendship that can grow. I know
Yeah.
that social
Yeah.
media and all this is, but you look at what can come of, you know, the good that comes out of it. The
There's
internet may
also the bad. There's also the
right.
bad.
The internet is Satan's playground, that we know.
Oh, ow.
But look how God can bring people together for good.
Right?
It doesn't
It
matter
always
how big
perfectly
the
said.
group is, but God can
Perfectly
bring.
said. God uses Satan for good.
Yes,
Right?
he does.
Right? And so this think about this. I mean, Jason, this is deep right here, man, brother. I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now,
Well,
this is good, deep. This
let
is
me
these are
let me let me
people that
put
we
this.
care about each other
Cowboy's
talking like
trying to steer me away from something. He knows where I'm going with this. He knows where I'm heading right now.
But you know how I got the people to not hate Christians, not to hate Halloween. I says, no, you're thinking about Halloween the wrong way. It may be All Hallows Eve. It's all about spooks and that. But
Yeah.
what? But what does God do? People take their money willingly and they buy something willingly and they give it away for free to others willingly. What is the gospel of God? Take
right?
what God has given you, find out what people want, get it and give it to them willingly in his name.
Yeah.
I says, so the Satanists may have their All Hallows Eve, but
They've
the
got their
concept,
own. They've got their own monument. And,
right, exactly. But the whole
they've
concept
got their
behind
whole thing
Halloween,
in Springfield, Illinois.
yes.
They
And
actually got their one of their freaking statues stuck in Illinois.
they're getting their Christmas.
At least it was is very tasteful. I actually have to say this. This is tasteful. It's not outrageous. It's not gonna piss everybody off. But the Satanists actually have their own statue in the Springfield, Illinois Capitol building
Yeah,
as part of the Christmas display.
because
Look,
because this is how they use America's laws against them, against us.
hey,
If you're going to have
and
the
I just
10
want
commandments, we deserve to have ours.
and Jason, I want to make a very strong point here. I want you to understand something. You know I love you like a brother, right?
Yeah.
Just listen to me. I don't have a woman in my room right now. I've been through the distance. I've been through a 14-year marriage and the devastation of my kids. I want you. I want you to go hug her and kiss her and tell her you love her because she's there, dude. You have that. Don't lose that, man.
I don't want to lose that.
Do it, man.
I don't want to lose this either. And it's a very hard balance, especially when I got
I'm not going anywhere, dude. You know, you could disappear for 3 months and show up. I'm right here, dude. Don't lose your woman, dude.
I know you'll be here. I know you'll be here.
Go fucking hug her and kiss her and tell her. I don't care if she punches you in the face when you do it. Do it. Dude, you got her right there. Don't get to where I'm at, dude. Don't get to where I'm at.
Oh yeah, cowboy.
I'm not worth it.
Send
I'm
me,
not worth losing what you've got, dude. Your
yeah,
YouTube channel is
cowboy.
not worth losing what you've
Cow,
got, dude.
cowboy. Email me No Way Out Radio's email address.
I don't have his yet. Put it in the I'll do that. I won't have you put your email in that way. I'll post mine and you can email me.
I can put it in the Hangout chat. That's private.
On the
Okay.
side chat.
Yeah.
Hey Salted, what's up, brother? Salted in the house.
Salt is in the house. I don't know who's here. My
History Fry's here, and I try to tell him to join the link. I don't know if he's still here. He has some great points in the chat. Seriously, man, I'm getting emotional on this shit, dude. I'm serious because I'm so old fashioned. I'm all about romance and old fashionedness, and I'm just like, if you love your woman, let her know it, man. Let her know it, and it doesn't matter
But you have to be
if like
careful.
you
You
gotta
have to
like
be
maybe you
careful.
need to show it 30 times before she shows back the love, but eventually it will get back to where it needs to be, and be the man in there.
Let
Don't
me
sit around and wait for her to do it.
let
Take
me
control. You're
elaborate
the
on
man.
that a little bit though, cowboy. It would be like if you were the romantic husband that brought your wife a bunch of flowers once a week. You paycheck, you get your paycheck, you get a few flowers, you bring them to your wife, but over time you start to think that she doesn't appreciate it. So you just stop.
I've
And
been
I
there.
and I have seen women that you don't love me anymore. What do you
Yeah.
mean? Oh, you don't bring me flowers anymore.
But no way. That's where the communication comes in. That's
Yes,
really
exact. Yeah,
people
I,
are
I've
I
got
crazy.
I've
agree.
got a
Oh,
bigger
listen,
hurdle. I've got
no.
a bigger hurdle to overcome, and that's Debbie was literally dead in May of 2017.
Right.
She died May 15th, 2017. She came back to life May the 28th. She was on life support that entire time. When she came back to life, she's completely different.
Right.
So now
That's
I've got a completely different person.
see, and that's what's hard for me to see the other side of it because I'm still looking at my wife. She never 3 years ago when I was supposed what I would do to help in the wintertime. There was a guy. There's big housing complexes around here, and I would go plow. Okay. I was heading out the door. I had the big 1 ton loaded, ready to go, the big V plow, the whole night. I'm out here heading for work. Instead of jumping into my plow, they're putting me into an ambulance, and they're sitting there looking at my wife. Well, we don't know. He can't breathe. He can't. He's. We can't say nothing. 5 days later, they got my lungs working and finally allowed me to come home. Now I have to try to understand in my head that freaked her out. So
You
that's
were
a
dead.
dilemma.
You were dead.
Well, if it wasn't for the machines and everything else, yeah, I would have been done. I, I my heart rate was so high, my oxygen sats were so low. What happens is when your lungs shut down, if they can't make your lungs work again, you suffocate and die.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what happens.
Exactly. That
And
that was something
I've been in
similar with
that position in 3 years. I've been in that position 3 times.
Oh shit.
Right. So every time I can't catch my breath, every time they're punt, they pump me full of prednisone and everything else. I'm on breathing apparatus hooked right up to my face and everything, keep me breathing. How do I know if she will not communicate with me about it. But I know we're good enough. So this is where what's happening with you, I can't I can't see it. I can't I have no answers for it because I'm on the other side. I I changed, but
Oh,
I changed.
you're actually on Debbie's side on this one because you died as well.
Pretty
Debbie was
much.
flat out dead.
Well, I wasn't dead. They didn't declare me dead or nothing, or it wasn't. But if it wasn't for the hospital and what they have to do when I wind up there, I will. I would be.
What's funny is that's why they denied Debbie's disability. Debbie was in the middle of applying for disability, and they denied her disability because the hospital had declared her dead. And I said,
Wow.
"Are you freaking kidding me? She's alive right now,
Well,
and she's just as fierce as always." Now
Hey,
she's
no,
all
no.
ticked off at me because I wouldn't let her stay dead.
Hey, no way out.
yeah,
I have a question for you.
guys, call me No Way. Just call me No Way. That's what
No
everybody
way.
calls me is No Way. yeah,
NWO. Hey,
and yeah,
let me ask you something.
I love
I
it.
got. Hey,
yeah.
tell
Go
me
ahead.
you cannot hear in Jason's voice the love he has for her.
I can hear it. That's why I put comments in, and that's why I was here. I can hear I can hear the love. I can hear it. It's there. See, I changed. My change was one that freaked a lot of people out because the people that know me and knew me for years, I've made it no secret. If all of you, and like I told them for 7 years, if all of you had met me back when I was 30, 35, and I had first met her, and we'd been together about 8, 9 years at that time, and you would hang me from the highest tree. I was such an asshole. That's how I was. I started to change with the loss of our son, one of our sons.
Oh,
But
sorry.
until I
Oh.
saw how I put it
Mm.
to people now, everybody's book is written. You believe in God, you know the Bible, you know in your heart. Your book has been written. Your path has
Yeah,
already been laid out for you.
it has.
But how many people has God showed them their final chapter? When it comes to me, it's a matter of time. I understand that. It's a cold that goes bad. I pick up pneumonia. Um, just something happens that shuts my lungs down. I'm in my mid 50s. It could end tomorrow. You have a different perspective on
Yeah,
life
we
when
do.
when your final chapter has been shown to you. I take it as God is saying you haven't been listening. Now are you going to listen to me now? I have a message to say, and he showed me that it worked. There are people, if I don't need to know these people. I don't need to know who I'm helping, who I am inspiring, who I am leading to the truth of God. But I know by my stats that there are 13 countries around the world that is hearing what they need to hear. There's people. And that's what works, guys. That's what we need to know. And whatever happens with our relationships, I don't know. There's no book that has the answers, but God does. God has the answer in the end. If we can find it, we can. If we can help people along the way, we can. If we can't, I don't know. I really don't. It's, I know it's too deep. It's the middle of the night over here in Maine. Forgive me. But, you know, things happened in our 26 and a half years that people look at me as like, why are you still there? Why? And people telling her, why are you still there? We, neither one of us can answer that. We may think in our heart that we can walk away because of a disagreement or a dislike, but when it deals with love and matters of the heart, the anger goes away, the love don't, and we can't survive without it. And we always go back. We always have to try to fix whatever it is we messed up or they messed up, but we can't hold it against them. We can't. Whatever changed within Debbie in her death, in her struggle, is something maybe you two together alone, she can, if she can tell you what it is, then you can help her. You can help yourself. You can work together as one to try to get to the answer. And that's the best advice I could give.
Words of wisdom, brother. I'm telling you, man. Let me tell you something.
And I
One
missed
thing
it
I've
because
always,
everything went to shit on my end.
let me tell you, the one thing I've always done is taking responsibility for my end of things. I have done, I have hurt people, man. I have hurt people I love. I have devastated
I think all of us
emotionally.
have. I think all of us have.
You know, we
Oh,
have that's
I've
human
said
nature.
things that are an emotional scar that will last with them for the rest of their life. I'm not talking physically, um, emotionally. And, you know,
Something just happened that left an
yeah,
emotional
dude,
scar
I'll
on
tell you,
me.
man. It's tough to live with and deservedly so. And I expect no sympathy or empathy on my end. Yet I will always stand up for my wrong and admit it and learn from it. My one of my closest friends used to always tell me how is it that you always see a silver lining in the cloud no matter how bad things get? And my response was, if you don't learn from it, then what's the point, man? If you can't
Right.
draw something good out of everything that comes bad, what are you doing? Learn from that. Embrace it. People sometimes give me a hard time because I go to dark side. What I mean that is like I get real dark emotionally. It's kind of like what I'm doing right now, right? But here's the thing:
Oh,
I do it.
that's the real
I
big
am.
pot on
I
the whole
don't
fire
shy
right
away.
now.
I don't shy away from it. I embrace it because I need to understand it in order for me to be a better person, and in order for me to, and that's for me. It has nothing to do with what the person's done to me. It has everything to do with the way I've reacted to it, or on the other side, the things I've done to them, and it has nothing to do with the way they've reacted to me. And the one thing I always say is, if you're not happy, it's not easy to get out of. But you know what? You create the world you live in. You create the world you live in. You have
Right.
the power to move mountains. Right? So,
Well, cowboy, that's exactly what Jesus's message was to everybody.
Yeah,
You
pretty much.
create your own reality. You do it.
mhm,
And this is what's so hard today with people judging other people that refuse to look in the mirror and do what you just said. You need to judge yourself before you can look at someone else. You need to clean up your own house before you can clean up someone else's house. That's just how the whole plan works. Because if we cannot hold ourselves accountable for the wrongs we have done, then we can't hold anybody else accountable for the wrongs that they're doing to us.
right?
And
And,
that's
and and on top of that, when we look at the wrongs that people have done to us, we can't step back and blame the way we feel on them. We need to look within ourselves on how to deal with that in a way that we can draw a positive out of it. And it's so this whole Aleister Crowley that's prominent, pushed more than ever within our children today, of
yes,
the my thoughts in my life matter, yours don't, is
exactly.
opposite of what we need to do. Because
What I find
if
funny.
you have zero empathy, now understand what empathy is. Empathy is not sympathy. Sympathy is not the understanding. It's just the I'm sorry for you. Empathy is being able to put yourself in their shoes and understand what they're going through. And if you could do that based off of what you have done, empathy is something that has been constantly through Aleister Crowley and now pushed more than ever through music and TV, is pushed out of people, is not to have empathy. And with zero empathy is basically zero. What's the term? Um, when you're sorry for something that you do, remorseful. You
Right.
have zero remorse. And then when you become zero empathy, you have zero remorse. Therefore, you have zero consequences for what your actions are. This is what society is pushing on people today.
The
The
total
elite,
lack of
the
conscience.
Illuminati, Satan,
It's a total
right?
lack of conscience. It's total lack of conscience.
Right.
Yes. When you cut somebody off, right, and they're honking at you, do you get mad at them? Or are you like, hey, man, I'm sorry, dude. I had that happen to me today. I have a smart car. If when I hit the blinker light and I'm going to change lanes and there's a car anywhere near me, my car yells at me, "You're an idiot. Don't do it." Right?
Right.
I
Yeah.
put,
Beep, 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 beep,
yeah,
beep.
yeah, right? I put my
Yeah.
blinker on, no noise. I start moving over and I hear this total horn going off. And I look in my rearview mirror and this guy's on my ass. Well, that tells me that we both were merging from the outside lanes to the middle lane at the same time. Okay, so I didn't cut him off. He was going much faster than me and wasn't paying attention. So then he
Right.
started riding my butt and then zoomed back to the left lane, slowed down to look at me to flip me off, and then speeded up and cut me off. And I'm
Well,
like, at what point? And I'm the one that's waving to him, knowing my card tells me this shit. Like waving, like, sorry, brother. Shit. Like, hey, sorry, man. Like the whole sorry wave
Yeah.
thing going on.
right.
And you know what I do? You know what I do at that point? Do I get mad and flip him off? And like, no, you know what I do? I pray for him.
yeah.
I pray for him that whatever it is in his life that has made him so angry over such a little situation that is lightened and that he has a blessed day throughout. That's what I do.
The biggest thing that you're going to encounter today in America is exactly what, again, the Bible explains. In the end, people will be lovers of self. So when it comes to that,
I'm guilty.
their job, their money, their prestige. I've told a lot of people, I was talking to my wife tonight before she went to bed about, we were talking about one of my sisters, and I says, well, it doesn't matter that she believes in God. To her, the only thing that matters to her is what people think of her, how they perceive her. She's a paralegal, but she has such a high standard of herself. Other people are a burden to her because you're interfering with where I have to project myself out to these other people. You're a problem. You're a crutch. You um, you're not wearing the right clothes. You're not saying the right thing. You're not. So other people's opinions mean more to her. When people today are so wrapped up in themselves that they're the only ones that matter. So this guy that's speeding up the highway, he doesn't care that he could cause an accident to kill innocent people. He's mad at you because you were doing everything legal. You use your blinker, you're going to merge over, but he's flying up and closes the gap that was there where you were going to merge in. That's automatic. What are you doing? I'm in a hurry to this important meeting. I'm in a hurry to this or that or
Yeah.
whatever. But
And
I've
he's the
always,
same guy that's sitting in traffic because there's an accident ahead,
Mhm.
bitching at the people that got in the accident.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
Hey, if we're not
I
going to
always,
rubberneck and stare at them and look at them and go, okay, I want to see all the carnage. We're
you're
going to
right.
bitch about the people that won't
Listen,
let us get around it so we can look at it. I mean,
seriously, you know what I do? When I see a guy on the side of the road with a flat tire, a car broken down, whatever. When I drive down the freeway and I look over and somebody's driving extremely slow in a faster lane than they should be and causing problems, and I see despair on their face, I pray for them. When somebody lets me out in traffic, I pray for them. When somebody doesn't let me out in traffic, I pray for them. Man, I tell you, I pray more on the road than any other time. I pray all the time for people. They don't even know it. They don't
When I
even know
find,
it, and they don't need to know it. I
yeah,
pray for
you gotta pray.
people
You gotta pray
all
for all these drivers.
day long, man.
You gotta pray for all the drivers. What I
Oh
do
yeah.
whenever I find somebody in the fast lane that just had a flat tire and they gotta get off the freaking highway, uh, I will literally block lanes so they can get over and get off on the shoulder, and I will pull over and I will help them change the tire.
Hey, I'm the guy that lets the semi truck over in front of me instead of speeding up because I don't want to
Yeah,
be behind them. You
I don't
know,
want to be
I mean,
beside them either.
Where are you guys from? Where are you guys?
I'm in Sacramento, California, Northern California.
Okay.
St. Louis, Missouri.
All right. See, I'm in southern Maine, and the
Yeah,
way Maine.
are you a big old New England Patriots fan?
Well, yeah, until football became all about spoiled, rotten
Okay,
millionaires.
listen, look, I'll be honest with you.
You know.
I know.
Oh, don't
Hey,
hit me too hard. I might break a nail.
hey, you know what? I know football. You know what? It's so funny. My friend and I, we laugh so hard because I'm a Cowboy fan. He's a Minnesota Vikings fan, and we do fantasy football. We've been doing this old school league for 30 years before fantasy football was even talked about. We're still old school. We don't go by the new rules at all. Old school, as old as you
Right.
can get. But
Right.
anyway, we still laugh at, and we just laugh at each other every week. Like, why do we still watch when we know it's fixed and we get angry? Well, because
Right.
we can't help it. You know, I mean, we still do it. You know, next
You know,
Saturday night, I will be
my
watching the
entire
Cowboys
problem.
game. I mean, you know, and rooting for them, even though I know it's already set in place on who's going to win. It's a listen. Football is sports. It's $1 billion industry. They're billionaires that own these teams,
Right. And what a
and
lot of
there is
people don't realize
And
is
then,
so much
part.
money riding on the betting, the point spreads, and the betting.
they're
Right.
supposed to
Dude,
be they're supposed to be tough sons of bitches, but
unbelievable.
they ain't tough. You know
No.
what? Everybody plans a bunch of
They're
pussies.
just
All right.
yeah. They're
I used to drive demolition derby, dude. My job was drive a car and see how many times I could wreck in one day.
Yeah. Well,
I
it was.
still break freaking bones while I'm in the middle of doing live streams. If you don't believe me, no way. Ask Cowboy. He'll tell
right.
you all about it.
When I was back in the 80s, when I left high school, I went into construction. And well, they realized I wasn't afraid of heights. So I start climbing steel, and I'm doing steel buildings. And back in the day,
Ah, guts.
you're up there in the air. You have no harnesses. You have no nothing. You're building it.
That's
Nowadays, you go to a
guts.
job site, and these people, how can these steel workers even walk? They've got straps on them, and I looked right at one guy one day, and he's acting big and tough. Like I says, you're a bunch of pussies. You won't go 5 feet off the ground without a friggin' safety harness. Back in the 80s, we used to climb 100, 200 feet in the air, and there was nothing but you and the ground. That was
Yeah,
it,
that's why they
dude.
hired they hire Native Americans because we walk
Right.
heel toe. We walk heel toe.
That's right. That's right. And I mean, when you're up there, and there was one day, oh my God, we thought we were all done. We thought the owner of the company, we thought he was getting ready. It was around the time of year when he would take his wife and all of his money, and they'd venture off to Florida for the winter. So we were going to see who was going to buy the beer that night. And we had two crews, and we're laying out the cross purlins between the beams. And we're saying whoever can lay out more and bolt them up wins, and the loser buys a beer. Well, friggin' the owner decides to pull in the job site the day before he left, and he's seeing his four of his highest paid workers 60 feet in the air running on an 8-inch beam. We'd lug the purlin up, set it down, we'd run back to the end, and we pick up another one and get it up and set it down, run back. Oh my, I come down, come down. I ever pull in and see that kind of foolishness ever again. Because back in the 80s, that's when they first created OSHA.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what OSHA used to do is OSHA wouldn't come in all big
What
and look at
which
me. They'd be sitting out there on the street filming you.
what if you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer. You absolutely do not have to answer. What tribe are you from?
Micmac.
I want to Micmac.
Yeah.
Mm.
My roots.
I'm Cherokee.
Not many people understand from the Civil War. There was documents in the Civil War when they. You want the truth? To me, the Civil War was not fought over slavery. It was fought over
Of
trade.
course not. Of course not.
It
Yeah,
was
it was over trade. It
right.
definitely was over trade.
So when you look in the actual final surrender
Yeah, the South
documents,
had the slaves to do the labor for free, but the
right.
North had all the freaking
But if you look in
ports.
the documents, you will see. Do you know that half of Maine was turned over to Canada at the end of the Civil War
Yeah,
because it
they're
states
still
in
going
there
through the whiskey war. That's still
what
actually
they
going on today. It's
because
called the whiskey war.
what they said was any waters flowing north to the St. John is Canada. All waters flowing south to the Gulf of Maine, or at that time Massachusetts, is America. Well, then the people living in the area around, well, it was around mid state, Bangor, and they said, no, we don't want to become part of Canada. Well, then the Aroostook Border War kicked off in the 1850s, and they did not settle on the border until in the 1950s. So, my tribe, the Micmac, we started in when Chamberlain came from France and came down through the St. Lawrence Seaway all the way into Quebec and Montreal and places like that. He met up with our tribe. But at that time, we went from Newfoundland all the way to northern New York State, but they drove us out. So now today we are in 8 different sects around in through New Brunswick, and the eighth one came in 1995. They called them the Aroostook Band of Micmac. So now for the Micmac that were here, they started tracing our roots. So now my tribe, my actual roots, is the Micmac in New Brunswick. So if today, the way they set it up, like if I wanted to go to my tribe and be a part of my tribe, I no, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with the liberals. I'm done with the snowflakes. I'm done with it all in America. I would have to denounce my American citizenship, even though I was born here, to go to my reservation in New Brunswick. But when I go to New Brunswick, I can't live like a normal Canadian. I have to live on the reservation.
That's bullshit.
Right. And I won't do it. Because the way I look at it, I've said it 1,000 times. God
You were
only
born here on American soil. You're born in your tribe.
right,
That's proven. And
right.
I know for a fact there's a reservation on American
Yeah, you know
soil
what?
up there in
You know what
Maine.
the
I know for a
Yeah,
fact.
it is what
I
they've
know
you
for
know
a
done
what
when
the
fact.
best
they recognize they shut down the old Loring Air Force Base, and you know what the Aroostook Band of Micmac Land Trust is? 400 acres on the end of a 2 mile friggin'
Mhm.
runway.
Are you
You
fucking
know what the
kidding me?
best
No,
That's
statement
it.
you go right to
you know what
Google
the
Map
best
and still
statement I've
shows it.
ever
It
heard?
shows the Micmac, the Aroostook Band of Micmac Land Trust, and it's a big circle at the end of Loring Air Force Base's 2 mile friggin' runway. That's
Sounds to
still
me like your tribes are getting fucked just about as bad as the Cherokee.
right. Well, we all are. But you know something? When we talked about, I used to talk about this a lot with a guy called G Ski Rocks. When rap first came out and they started doing the people that were running the record, scratching the record, they called it. That's what he
Yeah,
did.
DJ, Mike,
Right. That's
MC.
what
They
that's what
call him
he
an
did.
MC now.
Right. That's what he did back then. And he was parts of group. But I used to go on to his podcasts and stuff. And he's a black guy from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm an Indian, feather not dot, from Maine. And I used to tell him, Jiski, you're my favorite Native American. You were born here. You're a native. You're a Native American. You were born here.
Listen, yeah,
Your
hey,
family
Fucking
was
listen.
right.
born here.
Hey, hey,
Fucking right.
the best statement I've ever heard a Native American make, and I love it, is like, fuck you that Columbus discovered America. We were already fucking here. Like,
Right. We
what are you
discovered it
talking about?
Yeah.
4,000 years before he did.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
And he didn't even discover America.
No.
He discovered the Caribbean islands.
You know, if you were fucking born here, I don't care if it's North, you know, anywhere in North America or
Right.
South America for that fucking matter. Fuck your
Right.
border wall, Trump. You know
But
what? You were born here.
yeah,
You're a fucking native.
Jason,
right.
I don't give a
Exactly.
shit.
Exactly. And but like I told him, I says, you know something though, G-Ski? I said,
keep it
it
down.
doesn't bother me for what happened
You got a fucking microphone.
three,
Keep
four
it
hundred
down.
years ago, because what man has overcome and created today, I wouldn't give it up for the world. I'm not giving up my house for a wigwam. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. You know, we've evolved. It's like slavery. We evolved as human beings and human compassion, and we overcame that. What they've done, the trail of tears, the reservations. I have no chip on my shoulder because God only created one race, and it's called the human race.
You know what? I would go back to a wigwam.
Well, in a way, I always wanted to put a nice teepee up in my backyard. I really have. I really did.
I would love to go back to the wigwam. I would kill my YouTube channel. I would throw away every freaking thing I've got electronic. I'd go back to the wigwam and I'd pick up the bow. Yeah, I'd pick
Yep.
up my 50 cal
Hey,
and I'd just go that route and be done with it and say,
look at my name,
fuck
Cowboy.
society.
Listen, I'm telling you, man, my name is Cowboy. Yep, on YouTube, right? And I've only dated in a long term relationship. Well, I've only been with 6 women, and they've all been relationships. Yeah, I've had 2 1 night stands. I'm not going to count those. But I'm 49, and 2 1 night stands is not bad. But all the rest of the relationships, right?
Right.
4 out of the 6 Native American women. I'm telling you, and I'm cowboy. If I had to go, listen, if I could choose, I'd go back to the cowboy Indian days. I'd live there, and I'd have me a nice Native American wife. I'm just saying, man. That's where like my heart is, man. And it's like why I'm cowboy. I'm not cowboy because I'm a Cowboys fan. I was otherwise my name would be Cowboys. The cowboy,
Right. With an
and
S.
I'm cowboy. So I'm cowboy. I am from that time when life was on the range. And damn, man, I tell you,
Well,
I'd be honest with you. I'd be Doc Holliday, and the woman on my lap would not be no whore, hooker. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but that's what Doc Holliday had. It'd be a Native American woman. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm drawn to them or they're drawn to me or what it is. But I mean, to me, I don't believe in coincidences, man. I don't believe in the coincidences. And for it to happen, 90% in my life, there's a reason for that. I'm drawn to them. There's something there.
Right.
There's a connection there I can't explain. And man, I'll tell you, man,
right.
I
I've
don't
got
know
a
what to tell
Pueblo.
you.
I've got a Pueblo Indian coming from New Mexico to learn beadwork from me. So
Yeah, where I grew up in northern Maine in Aroostook County. That's the far point. That's the farthest point, right up there next to New Brunswick. And
yeah,
there,
you're up there.
there was only two kinds of people. You were either an Indian or you were a Frenchman, and that's what was there. And but that's a whole different lifestyle. That's a lot like what you're talking
Yeah,
about, cowboy, because where we are up
it
there, I was in
is.
I grew up in a small town called Ashland that you drove for
Ashland, Maine.
25 miles right into the middle of just woods as far as the eye can see. And I was in Ashland, and I brought some friends up there, and they said, "Well, what's out there? What's in this direction?" I said, "Woods." Well, no, what's past the? I said, "More woods." I said, "I could send you in that direction right there, northwest, and you could walk for 150 miles and you will see nothing but wilderness and trees. And when you come to the Canadian border, hopefully somebody can find you because you're walking into nothing but wilderness and trees." I grew
Yeah,
up in the middle of the friggin' woods.
yeah,
You could
it's fucking absolutely fucking nothing up there.
nothing, nothing, trees, trees. The
Seriously,
worst, the funniest thing that
It's really
ever.
good. It's really good deer hunting, though.
Well, it used to be. They've cut all the. Canada has come in. NAFTA. It's a long story, but
but
the funniest
Wait, whoa,
thing.
whoa, whoa, whoa! You can't hunt deer in Maine anymore.
Do you know they went to bucks only? Now half the state they don't even give a doe permit for half the state because they have cut so many trees and they have destroyed so much of the wilderness and the deer can't live in it.
hey, but
They've
you know what?
Ah,
NWO.
yeah,
I grew up in North Lake Tahoe. Okay, and my whole backyard was the Sierra Mountain, so I know
right,
what you're talking about. And I
right.
got to tell you, the high school I went to was freshman through senior year, 4-year high school. And I started there my sixth grade through halfway through my junior year up there. And the high school had 300 people, 300 students in the high school, uh,
Yeah.
freshman through senior year.
You
Okay.
want to hear one better
It's
than
a
that?
different environment. And then I moved to Sacramento, where it was over 1,100 people, just for the senior class. Okay, so my point is when you grow up in, my biggest thing is growing up in small towns, right?
Hmm.
People are much more able to adapt to life and
Right.
people's ways of thoughts, likes and dislikes than in a larger environment. When you get in a
oh
larger
yeah,
environment, okay, then you become to these cliques of like what music you like, what clothes you wear. When you're in a area where there's 300 people in a four-year high school and you go to a social event, it's a very different situation because you learn to understand that we can hang out even though we don't like the same music. We can
Right.
hang out even though we don't dress alike. We can
Right.
hang out even though we do different ways of celebrating our night. We can hang out,
Here's me. I'm going
and
to
that is, to me,
check.
people underestimate small towns. People from small towns are more um, tolerable, empathy, whatever you want to say, being able to be socializing with an environment that is unlike the environment that they might choose for themselves.
Well,
You
let
know,
me give you.
it's like me in high school. Okay, here I
Mhm.
am. I'm listening to heavy metal music. I'm going to all these heavy metal concerts. I'm getting backstage and shit. All right. I'm the team leader of the chess club at the same time. At the same time of that, I'm also building engines and I'm also in the computer club. Okay, so unlike the ultra greaser nerd, I mean, can anybody figure out how to classify that one?
Redneck. That's what they called us.
Thank you.
In high school, I'm going
No way
to.
out radio just called me a redneck off that description of what I was in high school. You know what? I'm still a redneck.
You're darn right, and so am I. And not even that.
Walmart is still my
I'm a
best form of
redneck red man. So what's that tell you?
Walmart is still my best form of entertainment. I will
But
go to
to give
Walmart
you an
and I will
idea
sit in
of
the parking.
how
Uh,
small the area was where I grew up, in the heyday when I grew up in Ashland, Maine, there was only 1,200 people in Ashland. The high school took 7 through 12, and there was 185 people, 185 students. It has gone to the point today where 6 towns, that was 6 towns, 185 students from 7 through 12. We had a small elementary school down the road that took the kindergarten through your sixth. Today, what they've done,
yeah.
they've taken all the 6 towns, they all got together and everything, and they rebuilt one school. There is one school, K through 12. It's the first one in the state of Maine. They built it to handle 800 students. And you know how many are in it in 6 towns for K through 12? There's only 210 students. K through 12. And this encompasses uh, 100 square miles in northern Maine, and
So
that's it.
you totally understand what I'm talking about then, because
Oh yes.
I like
because
that's
when I
a
lived
small
in
area.
Everybody knows everybody. Everybody
yes,
tolerates everybody. Everybody, even if I hate you, you're broke down on the side of the road, I'll give you a helping hand and send you on your
yeah.
way, and I'll hate you tomorrow.
That sounds like the television show Cheers.
But
Right.
and let me tell you,
Sure.
when I lived there in North Lake Tahoe, it was the first year they actually
Keep
opened
it down. You
middle.
don't have to fucking yell.
They actually opened
Put the
it.
headphones
Before
on.
that, the high school was 7th through 12th, and they
Hmm.
opened the middle school. I was the
Shouldn't have
first
to.
class for the 7th and 8th is for 7th and 8th
Yeah,
grade,
we could hear them.
and yeah, so I came from a town where the high school was 7th through 12th,
Maybe I don't
and it
want
was
to
the
hear
first year
them.
they
I
actually
want
did a middle
to be
school,
able to
even
read my
though
book and nice,
you know
quiet, and
the amount
for
of
you to
kids
go to
didn't justify
sleep.
it at the time. I mean, if you look at North Lake Tahoe, look at Incline Village. I mean, I don't know how many people live there. I would say that like I can't imagine it being more than 1,200, 1,500 people total.
Right.
I mean, you're looking at a 4-year high school with 300 kids. You're looking at,
I'm
you
sure
know, the
bigger
senior
power.
class under 100 kids, you know, and also on top of that, on top of all of that small town, it's an area that is infested with extremely high-ranking wealthy people. For instance, one of my best friends in high school, his dad was a drummer for CCR. There was another student there I wasn't close with, but his dad was from the Beatles.
Well,
Another friend,
that's what happens in
his dad
California.
was the owner of Sun-Made Raisins. You're talking about extremely small community with extreme wealth and diversity,
Well,
and
that's
it's
what's happening.
unlike anything that you can experience in any large town, and it really shapes your ability to become a chameleon. And I bet you, NWO, you're a chameleon. I guarantee you, you're a chameleon. Yeah,
uh,
you're laughing. Damn right, you're a chameleon. I can tell, dude.
yeah, they see that. That's
Yeah, you know
why
what?
many.
You know what's so funny is you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, dude. That's what's funny. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well,
You know what's really funny is I posted this thing up, NC-17. Hey, red flag YouTube. Hey, this guy's got adult content. Hey, guess what? Nobody at radio comes on the air. Guess what?
You know what?
We
I gotta
haven't
just
had
say
any
this. I
adult
gotta say this.
content. We have not had one bit of adult content. We have
Listen, I
not
just have to say
one.
this. I just have to say this. Of all the times I've mentioned this, you're the first person to laugh. You're the first person that actually understands what the fuck I'm talking about on that shit. I'm dying here, dude. I'm
yeah.
dying.
Well, I always told
That's awesome.
everybody, how do you? I'll put it this way: a lot of people. How do you know the people you know? How do you know what you know? And I always tell them, well, geez, my wife is ex-army intelligence, so what's that? It is what it is.
Okay,
And
the title of the show is NC-17. We don't know where this will go. So I gave myself leeway.
look what happened. You get someone like me
Yeah, and it turned
to
into
wreck everything. Throw a wrench right
it,
into the whole thing.
yeah, you threw a wrench right in the whole fucking mess. You made it a PG show instead of a PG-13 or worse.
Uh, I've said my
We've
prayers.
got to get this thing into the R-rated area. Otherwise, it's over.
Oh no. Oh, that's me. I'm sorry though, guys.
Hey, Jason, listen. You have two chameleons right here, brother. You got me and NWO. We're chameleons. Take it there, and we know how to go.
Well,
I
it's
mean, we got to talk about women, how they behave, how they act, how they do the thing. We got to talk. I mean,
why. Do you really want to talk about the pussy hat wearing freaks from California and Arizona and New York and Florida that that
I
would
don't want to talk about cowboy. I want to talk about women.
Do it. Hey, man, let's do it.
why,
I'm an
cowboy?
expert.
Are you a pussy hat wearing freak?
Dude, I am the most unconventional man you'll ever meet. I have always thought of myself as an outsider as far as how growing up, how men and young men, boys thought. I am completely opposite and a total freak of nature in regards to how I view women and relationships compared to 99% of men. I'm, although my persona my attitude, my strength, my persona, my the way I present myself may show a different way. I am not what most people think I am. And that's because I'm strong in who I am. I am not normal. Not normal meaning in a bad way, or in the fact that other men necessarily are bad, but my values, my morals have stayed strong my whole life to this day.
Well,
And
that's it. You know that I think that's what I know where Jason wanted to go, and
Oh,
I don't
it's
have a
in the
problem
gutter.
talking about that.
It's going in the gutter,
Listen,
buddy.
but you see with me it's like what Cowboy just said. I have a set of morals and standards I've
I do
set
too.
for myself,
I do too.
and I can't get out of that.
mm-mm.
I do too.
And
I
I
do
think
too.
like I said, my friend out there, or we call him the boss. He's the benevolent dictator from the Friday night show we do on his network, and he says, "Well, no way, you're too kind. At times, you let people walk over you because you're too kind. You let
It's
people
not
nail you
kind.
a second time because you're too kind." And I
At
look at
some
him, I
point, you got to
says,
stop letting people step on you. You just got to
and,
step
and I
on
says,
them.
yeah, but I says, if they're stepping on me, they're not stepping on someone else, because what they don't
Jason, you've got a microphone.
remember
Go ahead,
is
please.
that
Oh my,
Loud.
I am everywhere. I am
Oh,
nowhere. I'm just no way.
oh my God, dude. Dude, you are, hey, dude, you are
You guys are
me. I'm
hilarious.
telling you right now. All right,
I
let me
love it.
ask you this.
I love it.
Let me ask you this, NWO.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. How often do you realize people in your life, right, that you deal with that look at you that way, think you're dumber and ignorant and don't get it much more than you do? And that you know that they have no idea that you're like 10 steps ahead of them.
At
Right?
first, at first,
But
a
you know
lot.
what? You don't gloat about it and you don't
No,
expose it. You
because
just
see,
move
that's a good
forward.
point, because that's how I do it, Cowboy.
Oh,
We
fuck.
we
Dude, you
we
are so
had
like me, dude.
we had a problem here in this town, okay, with back in the 70s. Monsanto came over here to a gravel pit and they buried toxic chemicals. And well, the people in the neighborhood in an area, they started, and so I went and I talked, because that's the kind of person I am. I was concerned, what's going on? So they told me. So I went out and I got all the information of what happened first. Then I went into the town hall during the meeting with the selectmen and everything else, and I acted stupid. I acted like an
You know
idiot.
what?
I acted
You
like I
didn't
had
listen.
no
You didn't.
clue.
You didn't do it on purpose,
Oh,
right? This is
well,
the
no,
No,
this is the
I
beautiful
let
was
New
part.
Way
doing it on purpose.
finish. Let New
Yeah,
Way
I
finish.
did it on purpose. I went in there and I acted like I had no clue what was going on. But what happens with our selectmen's meetings is they're recorded and they're played live, and the people in town watch it. So I let the selectmen think I was stupid and had no clue what was going on. And when I had them lie and got them lying on camera and to me, I walked up and I said, "No, that is Rickard's gravel pit. Monsanto dumped chemicals back in this day, and this person did this, and this person did this, and this person did this." And then I walked up and dumped 25 years of EPA, DEP documents on the desk right in front of them, and then said, "Now, have you got anything else to say?"
Mhm.
Oh shit.
So I,
Okay, so when I said that you acted stupid, right? I didn't
yeah,
mean like you made it look purposely you acted stupid. What I meant
no,
is
what I
that
talk
you
about
play
in the
a
Bible,
what you do is you don't expose that you're listening, and they take it as if you're stupid, and they don't
right?
realize you
I hear
actually know
everything.
more.
I
Right?
hear
That I
everything,
mean, there's a
and I never
difference on that.
forget.
Going
I am stupid all the time. If you don't
purposely
believe me,
acting
ask Debbie.
stupid is different than allowing them to
Like right
think you're
now.
stupid.
Right? No,
And
I know what you're saying now.
that's the
Yes,
chameleon part. That's the
right.
chameleon part that I'm talking
There's a
about.
lot. There's a lot of times
Doesn't be
people
a
think
fucking
I'm
light show
so
anymore.
far off the wall, and
Sure
I
is.
am out in space somewhere, and it may take 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years, but all of a sudden, holy
I'd rather
shit,
be laying with you right
right.
now.
No way was right. And it's like you said, they think
Yeah.
I'm nuts. You're a
There's no
lunatic.
reason why you can't.
Yes. Man, I gotta tell you, NWO, it's been some time since I met somebody that
Gotta
gets
go,
it.
guys. I'll talk to
And,
y'all later. I'm leaving the channel open. Y'all
okay,
do you
brother.
think? Cowboy, you
Well,
apparently know how to pull people in.
all you guys, I should get going myself. I mean, it's like
Yeah, you
four
got
4:30
lung
in the morning
issues
here.
and shit. Oh fuck.
Yeah, it's 4:30. Yeah, my lungs are getting pretty wore. I
All
thank
right,
you
well,
for
hey,
letting me in, and
This is actually the
hey,
longest I've ever heard you talk on anybody's show. So this is like fucking kick ass. You've been on this long.
yeah.
well, I appreciate it, and you guys are great. You're great people. You're good people, and keep it up. Keep it up. The world needs more of you. We really do. So I gotta truck out of here, guys. So God bless you all, and thank you very much.
Yeah, God bless everybody.
Hey, God bless you, man. God bless you, no way. You know what? We need more humor in our lives. If we got more humor, the better our lives are going to be.
That's right. Laughter is the answer. So
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
good
I
night, and
find humor and everything.
happy
Yeah,
New Year, everybody, and may it be a blessed one.
yeah,
Maybe the
absolutely.
next time I put one of my shows up as NC-17, we'll actually make it that way. This one wound up being rated PG.
Right. All
Hey,
right.
at least you didn't get striked for 90 days like I got. So,
Yeah, no shit. That sucks.
all
All right. Good night, gang.
You can
right, you guys,
protest
God
that.
bless. Peace out.
Good night, everybody.